Welcome to this look at a new-ish mod map on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. This is Fox Farms. This is a new-ish mod map. I know, it's taking me a while to get to them, but I'm doing them. It's by Zoli708, 95.81 megabytes download. We start here at the mailbox on an American map. I mean, I assume it's American. Big, wide, open fields. Reminds me a little bit of Stone Valley. I mean, there have been a few big American maps, and I'm very partial to British maps. You probably know that if you follow my channel already. There's something very freeing, and it kind of in your mind, you think of possibilities, big machinery, loads of harvesters, loads of gear, just what it makes me think of. There are no custom crops and there are no custom mods on this map added by the map maker. Contracts are available, however. We're going to head to the farm itself. When we get there, we'll have a chat about the map, and then we'll talk about slot counts, etc. And then we'll get around the map. We do have a dog somewhere. Where's the dog gone? Oh, there, sitting over there. We do have a dog, and the yard is here. The map looks like this. So as you can see, big fields. Now, there are some, I say smaller ones. Field 22, 211,000, which isn't too bad. We start with field 25 on New Farmer, field 3, which is a small one next to the farm and the farm area. And we also start with field 17, which are not small fields by any stretch of the imagination. So to build up money fairly quickly shouldn't take too long. Field 26 is part of this area here, which has got 3 cow pastures on it. We'll get to that in a little while as well. And then the field prices kind of ramp up from there. There are still some smallish ones, 755,000, but then we go up to field 19, 2,067,695. So as you can see, you can work you up to some big fields. Plus, there's a possibility of blending together to make much bigger fields if you want to, because there aren't a huge amount of trees. There's a few telegraph poles here and there as we go. Now, as you can see, we do have a sleep trigger. That is fixed. It's fixed in place on New Farmer. As you can see, standard in-game sleep trigger. If we come inside, the trigger is in here. I thought it was the boots to start off with, but it's not. It's the building. Now, there is a problem with that. Or there is a problem with this. The slot count on New Farmer is 716 out of 1299. If you come onto Farm Manager or start from scratch, that drops down to 567, which is quite a big drop. But you don't have any of the buildings. So you don't have the farmhouse, you don't have any of the sheds, you don't have the silo, the cow pastures that are further along, we'll have a look at later, you don't have any of them. And the problem is it leaves it looking like this. So on Farm Manager and start from scratch, whilst the slot count is lower and you don't have any of the buildings, which kind of gives you a bit of scope to do what you like, with all the odds and ends that are kind of left hanging around, yeah, I mean, I would still start on New Farmer. Now, as far as start equipment goes, we do start with some, as you can see, we start with some big gear, which again, I think is kind of freeing, How often do you start on a new map with huge machinery? The Kinsey 1051, big cultivators. We've got a fairly large harvester, massive seeder unit. Garage. We've got a Maxim CVX 135, Quadtrack 470, Fendt 1050. We've got a Warrior Case 9240 pickup. We've got a Load King Distinction trailer, the Kinsey grain cart. We've got an Unverfirth seed runner, header for the harvester. Lemken Gigant 12S 1600, the Terminator TH18 and the TH1400 seed tank that goes with that. So, yeah, what's that? 18 meters wide. We've got a navigator, herbicide and fertilizer spreader, some front loader gear, and a weight. So as you can see, none of the buildings are part of what you can sell. But like I say, when you come into a farm manager or start from scratch, you don't have them. Now, if you decided, if you're on here on a new farmer and you still want to get the slot count down a bit, and you think, I want to do a more start from scratch, you don't want to start with all this big machinery and gear, if you sell all of this, you can get your slot count down to 476. Which isn't too bad at all, 476. That's more than doable on a map this size. We do have a workshop trigger over there. Now, this is what's got me a little bit puzzled, because I came over to check the silo. Because it's not under kind of mods to place, at least on the website, it doesn't say anything about required mods. So, if I come down to silos, there's just the standard in-game silos in here as an option. So if you lose that silo, it could be a problem. Now, if we go to here and have a quick check, it says capacity there, silos owned, total capacity 200,000 litres. However, when I drove the trailer underneath here, it came up saying 600,000 litre capacity. So I'm a bit puzzled. Yeah, it's definitely saying 600,000, but the actual screen says 200,000. So, not sure about that. Now, what else do we need to talk about? Nothing just yet. This is season supported, which is nice. It doesn't say anything about precision farming, so you'll be a standard default Giants precision farming map underneath soil map. We do have a workshop trigger just here. I think this works. Yep, jet wash as well. Then all the big gear tucked away over here. Let's go and grab the pickup and let's get round, shall we? As you can see, it just goes, you know, you can look off for miles. I had a quick whiz around just to kind of familiarise myself, and I'll be honest with you, it made me miss Stone Valley. You know, I like when a map makes you feel something. You know, sometimes you go on a map and you go around and it'll either be very clinical, or you might go around a map and think, okay, you know, I've played on a few maps like this, and you may have an inkling to want to play on it, or you might think, well, you know, it's not for me. I don't know what it is, but for me it's more of a kind of, it's a gut instinct thing. Sometimes I come on a map and it makes you feel something, whether it's a connection to another place or another Let's Play you've done or another map, and you think, oh, you know what? You know what it's like. You get that kind of feel. So, as we come across here to where these cow pastures are, and these are something completely different to what I've come across before, we have got water points in various different places around the map, and they are all marked with these little hazard markings. So plenty of places to get water. We've got these huge open silage clamps, bunker silos. If I turn that on, as you can see, fill level chaff, compacting 0. So 2 of these here, massive. We've got some more shed space. Now, as I said, if you come onto a farm manager and start from scratch, these sheds aren't here. And unfortunately, the triggers for the cows aren't here either. Now, there are 3 triggers for the cows. We've got slurry pits, 3 of them as we go down. There are 3 water troughs as we go down. There's 1 water trough here, and there are 2 just over there. There are feed troughs and straw bedding points are just underneath where those little shelters are. But we do have gates, and the trigger here for the first one. Each one of these will do 200. So you can, quick maths, you could do 600 all together. I did that all by myself, no calculator or anything. I know. Good, isn't it? And the milk tanks, you can see, everything's kind of pretty visible. We get our second dialogue box just there. And our third dialogue box just here. Each one holding 200. From here, we got a bit of a drive, because we are now heading to Emerson Mill, which you can see on the horizon. I'll say horizon, in the distance, let's just say that. I will see you there in just a moment. You do get a feel for the size of the fields as you go past. Like I say, the two you start with, you look and think, oh, they're quite small. Not really, it's just the other ones are really big. And as you can see, the spaces in between, nothing blocking you from ploughing them through. I'm making some big old fields. So Emerson Mill, just here. I always, when you get on a map like this, being from the UK, we have large areas of land, nothing like the US and other places around the world, places like Russia, and to get your head around that concept of travelling for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and seeing nothing but fields is it's difficult to get your head around when you're from from a place where I live. So when you get a map like this and you get the odd sort of like sail point, it's probably very true to life, huge swaths of land. Now we've got this huge water tower, and as you can see, well, maybe you can see, we've got some of those hazard marked arrows. So the water tower here is a water point as well. As we head south again, we are now heading to the barn, sell point and the animal dealer. Barn sell point is on this end here. With the animal dealer around this end. Just there. Another water point marked. I like the fact they're all different as well. A couple of them are hydrants, one's a water tower, that one's some water barrels. Now heading east again. We're coming to Colvin Mill Company. Now, there are, within these sell points, we're going to have just a quick check. I say quick check, a quick look. As we scroll across, you've got sell points there for your wool. So what says dealer, just dealer. You can sell your cotton and your wool. So there's no dedicated spinnery. It will also take your eggs and your milk. Huge price for the eggs as well. Look at that, 6,706. Wow. And the milk price is pretty up there as well. I've got this on Norman Economy too. That's a crazy price for milk. Blimey. Actually, let's check the other prices. How are we looking? Yeah, I mean, they're up there. That's not bad at all. Yes, there's no dedicated dairy, no dedicated spinnery. The other thing as well is there's no sawmill because there's no forestry. Now, there are a few sawmill mods and things about sell points and things. So if you wanted to, I know I did it a lot on Sosnovka on FS19 when I kind of first started. I would clear areas of land and plant trees and then speed up time before I even started my Let's Play. So I had large kind of plantation forested areas. So if you did want to do some forestry on here, there's nothing to stop you getting one of these plots of land, putting a load of trees all over it and giving yourself a plantation of sorts. I mean, like I say, there are a few trees here dotted around, but it's not a forest per se. So, the main store is what we're coming to now. So we've got the main store, which is just here, with another water point, which is there. We've got the buy point, but what I have noticed, or see what I can't find, is a sell, repair, or customise point here at the main store. So I'm assuming then that the only workshop trigger is the one up at the main farm. You can place them again, there's loads of modded ones about, unless I'm missing something really obvious, but I haven't found one of the discs anywhere or a place where you can repair. The reset point is here at the main store, and the vehicles and machinery reset into the large area out here. Plenty of space for large machinery and for getting in and out, which is no problem at all. Now, at either end of this building here, we've got the two sell points. We've got the dealer. I say sell points, one's a buy point. Dealer is at this end. There's nothing actually marked on the ground, but if we go into our menu, go down to dealer and tag place. So the dealer sell point is just there. The other end is a fill station, so it's a buy point. Now, I tried with a few different bits of equipment, a few trailers and different things, and so far as I can tell, you can buy fertilizer, seed, lime, pig food, herbicide, and liquid fertilizer. It wouldn't dispense slurry or digestate or manure. I couldn't get it to do that. Now, that could have just been the particular vehicles I was using, but I was using vanilla in-game standard ones, not modded ones, so I was hoping that would work. But so yeah, a few things you can buy from there, and then we have got a fuel point just over here. Where have we been so far? I haven't looked at the map for a little while, have I? So we went from the main farm here, across west, past all the cow pastures and the two large open silage clamps. We then came down to Emerson Mill, across the water tower at the corner, barn and animal dealer, Colvin Mill Company. Then we're now here at shop, dealer, fill station, fuel point. We're going to head from here to the biogas plant. Now again, it's one of those maps that if you wanted to, because it's very flat, I would like to think that placing placeables shouldn't be an issue. Again, I do sometimes have comments when I say that on a map tour. I have had people in the past, not recently, say it's my job to check these things when I'm doing a map tour or a review. The thing you have to remember is maps are very big. Sometimes on a map, I might check an area and it'd be fine. And it'll allow me to put a placeable down, no problem at all. If I do that, then people will then comment and say, well, I tried to place something at such and such a point or near here and it wouldn't let me. I can't check the entire map. Plus, I then have had people in the past say, oh, I tried this mod, I tried that mod, it won't let me place it. I can't test every single mod, I can't test every single placeable, I can't test every part of a map. Generally speaking, when maps are a lot flatter, it's a lot easier to put placeables down, but then there have been maps in the past that have been very flat and still have had issues with placeables. So I can't say for definite, but what I would like to say is I would think it's going to be a bit easier. So, heading across to the last of the sale points, which is the biogas plant. Now, the biogas plant is $155,999 to buy. Not overly expensive, not too bad at all. It also has open silage, an open silage clamp or two. I'm trying to think now, is it one or two? Now, when I came onto here on farm management to start from scratch, those two silage pits up where the cows are, they wouldn't work either. When I drove onto them, I wasn't getting anything coming up with capacity or like fill level or compaction. So, I mean, my only advice would be if you're going to play on this, I would play on it on a new farmer. If it were me. If you buy this biogas plant, it is standard. It pays $360 for 1,000 litres of silage, and it takes you kind of standard biogas plant things. It doesn't take extra things like potatoes or sugar beet or sugar cane or anything like that, or wood chips. It's a fairly standard biogas plant. Sale point just there, and your digestate tank for your byproduct is just here. Plenty of open space, loads of room to get in and out. That's another very big silage clamp in it. And strangely, over the last couple of days, that's the second map that's had open silage clamps. Haven't come across that for a while. Not set standard on a map. So, along from there, all the way down there, came across the bottom, we're at the biogas plant. And that is the map. That's Fox Farms by Zoli708. It's a nice map with lots of potential, and again, if you like your big, open, wide American style or American maps with really big gear and doing, I mean, it does have contracts available, so I would imagine you're going to get someone here that are going to pay out. Let's just have a quick check before we disappear. Yeah, harvesting field 13, 32 grand. When you get onto things like the fertilizing contracts and stuff like that, you can make some good money. But the contracts do take a long time, so it's kind of swings and roundabouts. The money is good, but it's going to take you a while to do it, unless you're running multiple bits of gear. But that, of course, is your prerogative. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.